What's going on, baseball fans? Alex Hart here, and welcome back to the channel. We're going to be going over the Tuesday, May 18th games. We got 15 of them, so we're going to be ripping through them as fast as I can. At the top of this episode, I'm going to just mention that there's a couple things going on. We got a no hitter going on in today's game, so if you haven't known that, look for that, as well as the Minnesota Chicago White Sox. We didn't talk too much about this yesterday because it hadn't really broke the way it did over the course of yesterday, but Yermin Mercedes was under a little bit of fire, particularly from his manager LaRusso, saying he shouldn't have smashed that 48 mile per hour pitch 3-0 over the wall, bottom of the ninth or top of the ninth, etc., etc. I think this is just crazy. Let the people play baseball. This is the second time this has been brought up since Tatis did it last time, and it's just, come on, let these guys hit the ball. They're paid big bucks. They're buffing their stats. They're trying to get contracts, all that fun stuff. So let them play ball. Just let them. But let's jump into it. Before we do, like, subscribe. We had a ton of views yesterday. I know a little bit of it was clickbait, but none of those guys. Come on, let's see some subscription. Come on, comments, etc., etc. First game of the night, we have Giants 4, Reds 2. And the Giants they're rolling. Top in the National League West still. They've managed to hold on to that for quite some time, and it might be time to, if you're not already, give them a lot of respect because they're taking care of business, especially against the weaker teams like the Reds, for instance. In this case, the Giants got out to a 3-1 lead here when Alex Dickerson hit his 4th home run of the season, 3-run shot. Brandon Crawford also hit his 10th of the season. So Crawford's had pretty good season so far. He's hitting a lot of bombs, and he's really coming together. On the other side, we had Winker hit his 8th of the season. Castellanos hit his 11th. So 2 solo home runs are all the runs that the Reds could muster together. And then we go down to Luis Castillo. He's now 1-6 on the season. He had a pretty good start, all considering how he's been like. 5 innings pitched, 3 earned runs, 11 Ks. But on the other side, Desclafani, he's been amazing, and I guess it's a return to Cincinnati because that's where he really used to be. 7 innings pitched, 7 Ks, 1 earned run. And McGee comes in for his 11th save of the season. The Giants are rolling. Next up, we have the Rays 13, Orioles 6, and poor Matt Harvey, after being, there was talk about him potentially turning things around. It's not so much the case. He went 1.2 innings pitched, 6 earned runs, 1 K. On the other side, the Tampa Bay Rays really using their bullpen strategy. We had Patino in here, 3.14 earned runs, and then a ton of bullpen guys to close this one out. There was no decision. Kittredge gets up to 4-0 in relief. We had Phillips hit his 2nd home run of the season, Meadows his 9th. Zanino had 2 home runs in here. He's up to 10. And Choi, it's his 1st of the season. It's nice to see Choi back in action after not being there for the majority of the season. So that's a big boost to the Tampa Bay Rays. And they had a big offensive night. On the other side, the Orioles had no home runs. Just typically they were coming from behind most of the night. It was 8-0 after 3. And then the Orioles put in a couple, came as close as 8-4, but the bullpen managed to give up a couple more runs. Next up, we have Phillies 8, Marlins 3, and this game is very exciting, actually. It's 1-1 going into the top of the 8th. And then you see the Phillies, they bring in their bullpen. After Wheeler had an amazing start, 7 innings pitched, 10 Ks, no earned runs. This guy's been very good this season. On the other side, Miami, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 3 Ks for Petit. And then the bullpens come in that 8th inning, as I was preluding to, and start blowing the game. It started with the Marlins putting up 2 runs in the top of the 8th, and you had that feeling with the Phillies, the way they've been, that this was all but over. Or this was over, not all but over, but this was over. But the Phillies put up a 7th spot in the bottom of the 8th and really got out of this jam. They needed this. They needed a big game like this, come from behind, win, and etc. They went 8-3. Phillies needed it for sure. Sticking in the same division, we have the Mets 4, Braves 3. This is another one of those little come from behind, late inning games that result in changing the lead. And sure enough, Villar hit his third home run of the season, and it came down to Nito hitting his second of the season off of Will Smith in that ninth inning, and that was the difference. It was tied at that point. Austin Riley had his fifth, and Freeman hit his 12th of the season, and Will Smith is now 0-4 after blowing this game. That's quite unfortunate. On the other side, we see the Mets just pretty much using a bullpen strategy, and what more can they do at this point? They have three of their best starters on the DL. Diaz comes in, gets his 7th save of the season, and the Mets squeak out a close game here, and somehow the Mets continuing to win. They're 7-3 of their last 10, and they've now won 3 in a row. Blue Jays 8, Red Sox 0. This is a great series expected. They played 2-game series earlier in the season, and they split it. So now they're coming back for round 2. Ryu gets his second chance against Rodriguez here. Rodriguez kind of was struggling in this one. Even though they only put up 1 run in the first 3, he was letting people on base the whole time. We have Grichuk hit his 7th home run of the season off Andres in the 8th inning, and that was the only one of the game. Vladdy Guerrero had a 3-hit night. Gurriel Jr. 3-hit night, and Teoscar Hernandez 3-hit night. So a bunch of hits. Jays had 18 hits in this game, so it's back-to-back games with double-digit hits for the Blue Jays, and they're popping off. Given this series right now, if the Jays come out and they win the next 2, they will be leading the American League East. Ryu went 7 innings pitched, 7 Ks, no earned runs, and Rodriguez on the other side, 5 innings pitched, 5 earned runs, 6 Ks. He gets lost, and they're both done there. Next up, we got Cubs 6, Nationals 3, and the Cubs take this one. Kimbrel gets his 8th save of the season. Home runs, we got Boit, 3, his 3rd of the season. Ian Happ is back in action for sure, and he hits his 4th of the season. On the other side, we have Castro hitting his 2nd of the season, but insignificant, just that 1 solo home run in the 6th there that they brought it close. Like, this game was very close, back and forth, but once it was 3-3, the Cubs in the bottom of the 6th, they put up a 2 runs there, and then they added on 1 in the 8th, and that was the difference. Davies goes 5, 3 earned runs with a no decision. Patrick Corbin, same thing, 5, 3 earned runs, no decision. Comes down to the bullpen. And the Cubs have been able to really trust Kimbrel to close the door in these situations, so it's been good. That brings us to the fun game, Twins 5, White Sox 4, and honestly, when it was 4-0 after 3, I just believed there was no chance this was the Twins, just the way they've been all season, not being able to score runs late. However, I don't know if it took them throwing at Mercedes after yesterday. They threw a pitch right at him, and the pitcher got ejected. I think it was Rogers. Yep, Rogers. It was Duffy. Duffy got ejected. Rogers gets the win. But anyway, gets ejected. But the big story here, Miguel Sano, 3 home runs. All of them. There's a 2-run shot, so he gets 4 RBIs total. He's the big hero on this one. And Jake Lamb hits his 2nd home run, and Grandal hits his 5th of the season as well. Miguel Sano, 3 home runs, being the difference in this one. Late comeback game. He had 1 in the 8th, and then 4th, 6th, and 8th. So I thought he hit the 9th inning, but he didn't. But that's it. Twins make a huge comeback on that one. Cardinals 5, Pirates 2. Cardinals continuing to roll over the Pirates. Just got out to 5-0 lead early in this game. Pirates weren't able to close the door. This was a Brubaker showing out here. He's now 3-3 on the season. He went 5.25 earned runs, 3 Ks. A little bit of a rough outing, but it's the Cardinals, and I think now they're starting to see him more than once. They might be able to expose him. We'll say Brubaker, not the best outing for him. Gant on the other side, 5.1, 2 earned runs, 3 Ks, and Gant's been pretty damn good this season. 2.04 ERA, 3-3 now on the season. Alex Reyes goes in for his 12th save of the season. Not much more to it. Cardinals taking care of business. Arenado, his 10th home run of the season in this one, so he's now in the double-digit club. Club keeps growing and growing, but he's definitely been the catalyst of this team so far this season. Batting 300 and double-digit home runs. Next up, Yankees 7, Rangers 4, and the Rangers were out to a pretty quick lead here, 3-0 in this game, and thought that they were going to walk away with that one, but the Yankees were like, no, 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 no. Put up a 5-run top of the fourth, and that was it. They basically didn't look back after that. It did get close to 5-4, but they tacked on a couple more along the way. The only home run in this game came from the Rangers with Solak hitting his 8th. That was off of Tyon. Fulte now drops to 1-4 in the season, 3.2, 5 earned runs. Not good enough. And on the other side, Tyon, 4.14 earned runs. He's still kind of struggling this season, but he at least had a lead. It didn't go enough innings to get the win, but he did have the lead. And then the Yankees used their star bullpen in this situation to close the door. They really wanted this win. They're keeping pace in that American League East for sure. Next up, Royals 2, Brewers 0, and this was just a crazy pitcher duel. Woodruff pretty much goes 7.2 innings, and I guess they just left him in a little bit too long because he ends up getting a loss in this one, and he's the one that gives up the runs in the 8th inning to the Royals. And what can you do? When you go 7.2 innings, 1 earned run and 4 Ks and get the loss, maybe your team shouldn't have trucked you out for that extra inning, but I can see why they did. Bubic on the other side went 6-0 earned run, 4 Ks in the win. He now has a .96 ERA. He's probably been Kansas City's lights out pitcher. But 2-0, there's not much else to say on this one. 8 hits total in the game. The RBIs go to Benintendi. That's the only RBI, so I don't know. Oh, it's 3 errors for Milwaukee, so that probably resulted in that inning for sure. Next up, we have another crazy coming from behind victory. Not really come from behind victory. Sorry. Late inning victory. I thought they came back, but no, I had this wrong. The Indians were up 5-1 after 1, and the Angels slowly chipped away at it and almost brought it within reach. They tied it up in the 7th. Ohtani hits his 14th of the season, so now he's just pulling away from the rest of the pack. Upton hit his 8th, Iglesias hit his 3rd, and then on the other side, Jose Ramirez hit his 12th, and Josh Naylor hit his 4th for the Indians. But the Angels fall a little bit short in this one. Plesac had 7 innings, 5 earned runs, so they put him out for a lot, and they potentially gave up 3 home runs here, which was the big issue. Henny on the other side, 3 innings, pitched 4 earned runs. Henny, they keep using him, but they have to, I guess, at this point. But he's just not had a good season. Not a lot of Angels pitchers have, so I guess there's that. But Ohtani, 14 home runs. We did see a game again without Trout in this situation. I've read that he pinch hit in there, but I don't see him in the box score, so that's just ludicrous. But Angels struggling for sure. Athletics 6, Astros 5, and this is another one of those late inning lead change games. And the A's, Laureano, 2 home runs in this game. He's up to 10. Both of them off Javier, and then Olsen also hits 10. So that's 2 guys on the A's alone that just got to their 10 home runs. And then, believe it or not, Tucker for the Astros gets his 10th of the season. So 3 guys in this game hit the magic number of 10 home runs. That's awesome. Sean Manaea goes 6, 3 earned runs, and it's enough to get the no decision. And honestly, it keeps them close enough to be able to make this comeback. Javier goes 6, 3 earned runs, 9 Ks himself, no decision. And then the bullpen blows this one. If we look at the box score, the A's were put up 1 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th. And they just managed to get it, close the gap, and come from behind and win this. This is a big game for them against their division rival. Houston's really had their number this season too, so big win. Dodgers 9, D-backs 1. Not going to spend too much time on this. The D-backs pretty much got handled from the 5th inning on. It was 1-1 up until that point. But once you go into the bullpen and the Dodgers start looking at you a couple times, it's going to be tough to keep it going. Pujols, I didn't touch on it yesterday. He's made the lineup again here for the 2nd time in a row. Betts hits his 5th home run of the season. It was a leadoff home run in the game. And then Chase Taylor on the 5 hit his 5th, and Gavin Lux hit his second for the Dodgers and none for the D-backs. Martin goes 5, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks in the loss. And Urias goes 6.2, 1 earned run, 8 Ks in the win. And the Dodgers starting to turn things around. I think they've gone a little bit under the radar as of late because of that big lose streak, because other teams have been hot. And I don't know, there's like teams like the Chicago White Sox, you're seeing those stories with like don't hit on 3-0 counts, etc. So they've kind of been going on under the radar, which I think is good for the Dodgers. Brings us to their division rival, the Padres. 2, Rockies 1, and this game went to extra innings. It was 1-1 Petco. Both these pitchers had good outings for sure. Must have. Snell went 6, and that's, I think I talked about this past couple times Snell pitched. It's been a while since he's gotten that many innings. He doesn't seem to put up a lot of innings these days, but he does still get the decent numbers. He went 6, 1 earned run, 11 Ks, which is an amazing quality start. And Gomber, 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, and that's what they traded Arenado for. So glad to see him with some good outing here. But this one went to extras, and there's no home runs, none of that stuff. But Jake Cronenworth with a 3-hit night seems to be the big deal. He's batting over 300. It's been a great season for this young second baseman overall. On the other side, CJ Cron had a 3-hit night as well. But yeah, not a lot of offense. Just one of those late inning, 10th inning 1-run games. Kind of annoying, but the Padres take that win. That brings us to the last game of the night and the one no-hitter. And what have you thought it when I said at the beginning that Turnbull was going to be the one getting a no-hitter? 9 innings pitched, 0 earned run, 9 Ks. I'm in shock a little bit. 3-2 on the season. Now Turnbull's had a great start to the season. A couple of the pitchers on Detroit have been pretty good, so they definitely have something to look forward to in the future with this team. On the other side, Dunn went 5.2, 2 earned runs, 9 Ks. Like Justin Dunn had a good start, but not enough when you're not getting any offense. And Candelario hits his 4th home run of the season. This is my fault, though. I was giving the Mariners credit to actually being in there, having a chance. And since then, Kelenic has gotten that one game. So I think he's up to 5 games now, and 4 of them he didn't get a hit. So it's a little bit worrisome there for him, making his debut with the Mariners, and he's the top of their lineup. So I'm wondering how long they're going to keep him up there. But that breaks down all 15 games from yesterday, Tuesday, May 18th. Thanks for watching. We will see you guys on that next video.